right, Texas 20. Welcome. Can everyone hear me? Yes. Wonderful. My name is Dr. Jenny Smith, and I direct the University Leadership Network, and I'm very excited to have you at your very first Leadership Speaker Series. How about this welcome from your mentors? We are so excited to have each and every one of you here tonight. By the way, you look fabulous. Look around. Everyone looks good, yes? Yes. All right. This evening, we're going to walk you through what it means to be in the University Leadership Network, and it would be, it's the best thing to do to start with the founder of the University Leadership Network, which is Dr. David Lottie, our Senior Vice Provost for Enrollment and Graduation Management. He's going to share with you what ULN is all about, and then we're going to continue the conversation with you after he speaks. Let's welcome Dr. Lottie.
Hey. It's funny, I have to talk constantly, like all day long. There's another place to go and talk. So I never plan what I'm going to say, because otherwise all I would do would be planning talks. And so I have to figure out what I'm going to say when I show up. And this will end well. It's just starting poorly. Mostly because I'm about to drive an hour and a half north to pick up a daughter from soccer and take her to piano lessons. So yeah, life is okay. You know what's kind of funny is to think about what it's like for you all to sit in this room right now and to listen to this conversation, because anytime you hear some old person talk, you can be pretty certain that what they're bringing to the table in that conversation is the experiences that they have developed for themselves and that they try to contextualize for the people they're going to be talking to. And almost always, like 99.99% of the time, what we end up representing is a consequence of what we thought deeply about because of what we experienced. And so you all are pretty much 18-year-old incoming freshmen at UT Austin, so you're first-year students in college. And the reason that you exist here in this room right now is because of my first year of college and what I experienced. And to be pretty candid about it, mostly I went to class, studied badly, and then sat in my room with the door closed. There were lots of reasons for this. The studying badly part had to do with the fact that I didn't know how to create community and I didn't know how to ask for help. And the part where I sat in my room with the door closed was because I honestly didn't feel like the particular university I went to was in any way what I felt I could connect to. What was interesting, though, was 3 years later I loved that university, and 3 years later I was doing great in my coursework, and it all had worked very well. The thing was, though, at the end of my first semester, I was quite certain that I was going to pack it up and move back home 3,000 miles away to go to a community college and just basically close the door on what turned out to be a remarkable education. That always sort of bothered me, the fact that that was real. And when I came to UT Austin and started talking to students in my courses and started talking to students in my college, it was interesting for me how I could kind of divide them into the ones for whom college was just swell and the ones for whom college was going to be a challenge. Now, when I say challenge, I don't mean challenge as in you aren't confident in yourselves and your ability, but rather because of that sort of internal sense of unease that says, I wonder if it's going to work out. Now, we may have picked wrong, and there may be people in here who are going to hit it out of the park right from the start and know that about themselves and don't have the slightest concern about how great it's all going to be. But the reality is, and this is a reality, a candid reality, is that UT Austin is home to wow. I mean, if you walk across this campus, I hope mostly you go wow at what you see in front of you. I have this running joke I do at all ULN meetings that works some years and doesn't others, where I say, how many of you are interested in study abroad? And about half the hands go up. And then I say, how many of you feel like you are currently on a study abroad right now? And all the hands go up. Because it really is quite the adjustment process. And yet, the reason you're here at UT is because you've been amazing. There are 50,000 applications to this institution, and you are one of the relatively few selected for that made it in here. And now that you're here, what we want you to do is to take whatever it is that made you amazing and have it lock and key right into being a part of this institution. Except that sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work for academic reasons. That's why we have programs like Gateway and TIP and Discovery and all of those. And sometimes it doesn't work because every time you're about to walk up to a door and knock on it, or every time you're about to show up at an office hour and walk in, or every time you're thinking that you might want to ask somebody if they want to study, you think maybe not, and you walk away. Moreover, there's the challenge of how it is that the part of going to college which isn't about studying, which is about, I don't know, eating and having a place to sleep, becomes a huge issue. Because for a lot of us, that ability to go to college is built entirely on the back of whether or not there are the economic resources to do so. I only went to college because my parents couldn't afford to send me to college. Well, you know what that means. Somebody else had to make that happen. And just because that made that happen didn't mean that once I got on campus it was all fixed. There was that struggle all the time. So when I created the University Leadership Network, I created it with this notion of the holistic being who could show up on this campus and from the start had this perspective that all of the pieces were going to be taken care of, and that whatever initial doubt or hesitancy, whatever initial fears or concerns were almost immediately put to rest, like beginning tonight and from here on out, that your coursework is going to be fine, but more importantly, that your integration into the institution so that you're taking advantage of the amazing things that has to happen is just going to happen, and you get paid for it. Because that's pretty amazing to have all of those things work. What's great is that when all of those things work, and they're laid on top of people like you who have striven to get to where you are and have proven that you should be here, then the result really is the reason why we created the name of ULN. It's the Leadership Network. It's the idea that each of you has demonstrated something in your past so that when you get on this campus, you can begin the process of leading. Well, you don't begin the process of leading if you can't walk through that door to start it. You don't begin that process of leading if you haven't been introduced to all the things that we expect people to do to lead. So something as simple as telling you to put on the best clothes you got and showing up here is part of the game that gets played. Is it fair? No, but it's the reality of this place that we are. But what's amazing is once you start to get the rules in place, once you start to sort all of this out, once Dr. Smith and the mentors and all of the people they bring in to work with you to teach you about this institution, to teach you about leadership and about integrity and about service learning and about really developing your own identity of who you are, once that's in place, oh my gosh, you walk around so confident, so capable. Earlier this year, or I guess it was last year, late last year, Regent Sarah Martinez Tucker, a pretty famous person, asked to meet with some folks from the University Leadership Network. And they just pulled a couple people out and had them come and sit in the president's Stark Library with her. Me, I was scared to death personally, because you know, you don't go to the Stark Library very often, unless you're the president. And more importantly, I just felt kind of ill at ease in there. And yet this young man and young woman who walked in representing the University Leadership Network walked in, sat down, and Sarah Martinez Tucker said, "What is ULN doing for you?" And this young woman looks up and says, "I am a professional." Wow. Yeah, she was. You should have heard how she answered that question. She really was a professional, and she really did hit it out of the park. When we take ULN students out on the road, because we take you out on the road constantly, to show off what this university is, it's amazing how no matter where you go, no matter whether it's a billionaire you're sitting with or a legislator you're sitting with or the president or whatever, that you are so confident and so capable. And so I think about that first week at UT and some of that uncertainty, and then I think about how fast that goes away and it's replaced with real and true skill sets coupled with your passion to be great. And then what do you know? There you are. The reason this is so important to me is because we're in a pretty amazing world right now, and it's not a great world. If you take a look at it, if you log on to Google News and you see the headlines, it's not so wonderful out there. Somehow something kind of broke. And it broke across the world, and it broke across the country, and it broke across the state. And we look to who it is that's going to change things. I was telling a group of students in the TIP program the other day that about 50 years ago, there was a group of students who decided to change things. This is back in the 60s when there was the Vietnam War and there was the Civil Rights Movement, and somebody had to step up and say, something's got to be fixed about this. And it wasn't the parents who stood up, it was the students. And then after that, I think we took a half a century off as students. But now you're back. And now you're recognizing that things have to change. You're recognizing that we have to make right. This group here, you all here, are the ones to do it. Because as you look around at each other, you will realize that you are, in fact, the people of the state of Texas. That's not always like that. Go look in lots of rooms and lots of places, and you see that it's all one color here, or all one ethnicity there, or all one religion there, or all one economic class there. And that divide, that polarization, doesn't do anything healthy. It doesn't do anything good. But you all are eclectic. You're all over the map, literally, geographically, in terms of your career interests, in terms of your experiences, and you're going to bring it together to be part of what the ULN is. And it's the growth in this incubator right here, with each other, with the mentors, and with the staff, that will allow you to just sort of rise up above and beyond it. What's amazing is, in a very practical way, 4 years from now, when you walk across stage at graduation, you have built a kick-ass resume. I mean, you should look at it. Yeah, you've got the academic piece, but there's all the leadership piece, and there's that first internship, and that second internship, and that third internship, and there's all those contacts you've made and those connections you've made, so that you are now primed to be the people who get chosen right off the bat to go out there and do what needs to get done next. That's what's going to happen 4 years from now. It's a long time. But I hope what I'm talking about is like really exciting to you to think that you're a part of this and that you're a part of what's going to make this happen. So you think, sounds great, and I'm ready to go. And this is where I have to remind you that it doesn't just happen. It will happen only because you behave like the responsible people who will make this occur. This idea of being adult in your behaviors. And that includes everything from the integrity you show, to the hard work and discipline you show, to the accountability you show. That's going to be expected of you. Isn't it, Jenny? It sure is. So all this rah, law, it's work. Because if you think turning out great, turning out a professional, turning out a leader is something that's going to be a walk in the park, it is not. It is going to be the struggles you go through, it's going to be the obstacles you overcome that's going to make the difference. But you know what's amazing? Is that when I look at all of the resources that will exist, whether you like them or not, to help you get there, it works. This will be the 4th class of ULN students. It will now complete the class of students on this campus. The ones that came in 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and you all. 2,000 students in the University Leadership Network. 2,000 students who will work with each other to achieve that level of greatness. Isn't that amazing? Because I guarantee you, 10 years ago, you weren't the ones they picked. You weren't the ones that they thought were going to be the ones to do it. And now today you are. I can't wait to watch that infusion, not only across this campus, opening every door on campus to become a part of things as a leader, but more importantly, as we graduate that class of 2017, those 500 students, that they're going to go out there and they're going to be the ones that fix the state of Texas, that fix the country, that fix the world. And that's where you're starting right now. You got 4 years to go, not just 1. But isn't it exciting to know that that's you? That you're the ones that are going to be making that difference. I just can't tell you how thrilled it is to see that this happens. And as I leave, I do want you to appreciate that the reason it happens is because of the amazing commitment of the people who run this program, and of the people who serve as campus partners, and of the people who provide the money that makes this occur. They're out there working their butts off as well because they believe in you and who you are and what you will do just as strongly. So as you leave today, rather than cheer, thank people. Thank the ones who are making this possible. Because when you look back on it, this is going to be the difference maker for you in terms of who you're going to be in your lives. Anyway, welcome to the university. I can't wait to see you at, what is it going to be, cupcakes this year? Maybe. Are we going to have to do it in like the Irwin Center because there's no more room in the smaller venues? Maybe well, that would be a great thing to do. But it's so great to see you all here and for you to start your time here on this campus. Thank you.
I'm missing Meet the Teacher right now. All right. You want to see what you're getting yourselves into? Oh my goodness. Yes? Yes. All right. I'm going to go back a few slides. You didn't see any of that. Watch that. Okay. All right. So, as Dr. Lottie mentioned, you are joining an existing legacy on campus that started in the fall of 2013. We're inviting you to join that legacy. Let's see what it looks like. So, ULN students are known by 3 words, and then also their service on campus. The first is authentic leadership. As Dr. Lottie talked about, your class increases the total number of leaders within ULN to 2,000 students. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think I am the smiliest person on campus because I don't know all of your names and I don't know all of your faces yet. So when you see me, smile back so I know that you're mine. Yes? Okay, that will be very helpful. Okay. Professionalism. You will all complete 50 hours of leadership and professional training before you graduate in 2020. Not at one time, don't freak out. But when potential employers and potential graduate and professional school committees see that on your resume, what do you think they're going to do? Oh, let me just move that to the top of the stack. Okay? It's very, very valuable, and it will essentially create a toolkit for you that you can use throughout your time here and beyond. Let's see, grit. We talked about this at orientation. What's grit? The ability to persevere. We persevere. ULN students are pushing through challenges and are persisting at the university at a rate of 93% after their first year. The general UT population, the 6,000 other first-year students, they're doing that at a rate of 95.5%. So you think we're keeping up? Yes. We are pushing through. And you know why? Look around. You're not doing this alone. There are 500 in this room, and you know what? There's 1,500 more on this campus who are rallying for your success. You don't have to do it by yourself. Service. In the last year, ULN students completed over 20,000 hours of service in the UT and Austin community. Last year's first-year students earned 7,784 of those hours. They beat the sophomores and the juniors. So you think we're going to continue this? Yes? 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 Okay, continue to beat the upperclassmen. It pushes them to do better, right, mentors? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, now let's see what other people are saying, okay? Words are powerful. Because of the ULN scholarship, I was able to focus more on my schoolwork rather than on my financial problems. The peer mentor group sessions made me realize that I was not alone and that anything can be overcome. And lastly, from one of our ULN campus partners, who you'll hear more about, they said ULN interns are well prepared to work in a professional setting from day one. And do you know why that happens? Because all of you are going to be here every week this year to get that foundational year of training under your belt. We're going to teach you how to lead in the classroom, the community, and the workplace. Is this something to get excited about? Yeah? Yes? Okay. The next thing I want to tell you about is your team. You all are all a part of amazing academic communities that will help you throughout your first year, and you can continue to participate in those in a variety of different ways, but y'all are with us for 4 years. And if I could have my team come up, I'd love to introduce everyone, so let's welcome them to the stage. All right, you know me. I will turn everything over to John in just a minute. Kyle Clark, I don't believe he is here with us this evening, but he is our brand new experiential learning program manager. So you will get to know him very well as you get ready to enter into your internships. Our second year coordinator, Mr. Jeff Dubé, right here. Everybody say hey. Jeff also coordinates our Mentor Academy, so he provides great training to all of these folks right around the room. We also have our third year coordinator, Miss Sierra Campbell, right here. Yeah. You will definitely get to interact with her, whether you're in the office or whether it's in your third year or whether you're walking across campus. She will say hey. Mr. Byron Caesar is our fourth year coordinator. Or, as I like to call him, the closer. Okay, he's the closer. We also have Miss Anna Glendening, our graduate research assistant, right here. I was looking at Charles's slide at the same time. And Charles G., who I believe is outside, he is our administrative associate, and he actually controls the release of your scholarship. So do we keep Charles happy? Yeah. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. John Newton. He is our first year coordinator, and he has arranged all of your curriculum and training for this year. So let's welcome Mr. John Newton.
Hello. Are you all ready? There we go. That's what I want to hear. So for those of you who came to orientation, we got to go over the expectations and the requirements for the program too. The whole this first semester and all of next year, this is going to be an experience for you that you need to invest in. We had a friend of mine who used to always say, you know, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of this. So I've tried to create an experience for you that is going to foster your development, foster critical reflection, and enable you to, like Dr. Smith mentioned, build a toolkit for yourself. And it's going to be very vital this year, because if you can lay that foundation early, then you're going to realize subsequent semesters are going to be a little bit easier. You're going to have more support networks around. And you're going to be thinking about things that you may have never had to think about before. This is growth, this is development, and this is what I'd like to have out of this experience. But again, you have to put something into it. Utilize the resources around you. As Dr. David Laudy said, there are resources out there, but you need to go and ask for them. I mean, you have all these burnt orange and navy shirts all around you right now. These are our mentors. There's a reason why they're wearing those shirts. I'm very proud of them. I'm, very happy that they're joining this first-year experience with you as your resource. They're not going to be the only mentor you're going to have on campus. Some of you already have your tip mentors and your gateway mentors and stuff. But these ULN mentors are focused on a big picture, not just your academics or your college or your major. They're looking at your growth over the entire 4 years and what's happening after you graduate. So I want you to utilize them. Make sure you get their contact information. Stay in touch with them. Ask them questions. That's what they're there for. That's what they're being trained for. And they're doing it because they enjoy it. So it's a win-win for everybody. Let's just really quickly kind of go through. I know some of you have gotten the emails. Who here has already reviewed our campus course a little bit? Do the registration. A few of you guys. Okay, excellent. I recommend that you take a look at it because you already have homework. I just opened up a reflection assignment today. I want you to think about the answers you're going to be putting on that. We do focus on reflection. We want you to critically think about the experiences that you're going through. So take a review as far as the assignments that are due each week. And make sure you put these on your calendars so you can get them in. I'd also like to say that the Canvas course is going to be your method of engagement, as well as the attendance at this evening lecture, this leadership speaker series, and your peer group attendance as well. That's what I use, let's just get practical right now. That's what I use to track your engagement. So if you're falling behind or you're missing some things, then I'm going to have to put your scholarship on hold. And I don't like doing that because I know everybody here needs those funds. So please don't put me in that position as well. But some of the assignments, they're supposed to be different because we're a non-academic course. We're a professional and leadership development program. So it's centered around those values. All right, so with the leadership speaker series and the mentor group, you're also going to be experiencing or doing experiential education. ULN is big on that. I've already met a few of you in my office already prior to this meeting, and I think you've kind of picked up that I'm big on that. Service learning is very important for me. Study abroad. Make sure you do a study abroad while you're here. I did not do that during my undergraduate career, and it's a big regret. Now that I'm adulting, it's so much harder for me to have to I would love to spend 3 months in Barcelona, but that's just, I can't do that. That's not feasible, unless I win the lottery or something. You guys have a study abroad office here, and you get to go with other people, and you get credit hours for it, and you can use your financial aid, and there's scholarships. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. So try to make that happen while you're here. We do require the 10 hours of community service each semester. Your mentors have already found all the good community service opportunities on campus and off campus and what time of year that they offer those things, so ask them. You may want to do something as a group together. Do it over the weekend. Just knock them out. Do not wait until finals. And I've told a few of you, some students, during finals week, they come and say, John, I haven't done my community service hours and it's finals. What do I do? Your community service hours. And they have to find the time when they really need to be studying at that time, because then I'll have to put the funds on hold for the following semester. Again, I don't want to do that. Find meaningful service opportunities. Don't do it as a checklist item, please. Find something that's really important to you. Find a cause. Find something you want to change. As Dr. Laudy said, make it meaningful for yourself. You'll get much more reward out of it. In the spring semester, you're required to attend our internship fair. Mr. Kyle Clark will assist you with that, as well as the mentors. So that's always a good, exciting time because you're looking at the next steps, what year 2 is going to be like, and you're getting out there. You're actually going to be getting out there and putting your skills into practice. Self-reflection, again, I just opened up the assignment tonight. There's going to be a few each semester. These are the ones that I enjoy reading. So please be honest and authentic and open and effort, give effort, because I really want to hear what you have to say. I'm going to try and get to know you this semester. And I reiterate what Dr. Smith said too. If you see me around campus, stop, say hi. I want to get to know your names. I've already gotten to know a few of your names. So there's 500 of you, there's one of me. So if it goes 3 times and I'm still asking what your name is, just be patient, because I have to associate the name and stuff. And I want to know who you are. Academics, 2.0 to 4.0. So if you get on probation, you're below a 2.0, we'll still work with you. You can still stay in ULN. You can still get your scholarship. But don't let it get to that point. If you're struggling, ask for help. Ask your mentors. Ask your advisors. Ask your friends. Ask your roommates. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because it's going to be a lot harder to get out of the hole later on. And it happens. I mean, this is what college is about. This is what the first semester is about. You're transitioning, as Dr. Lottie said. This is your study abroad for right now. And sometimes those things don't go as easy as we wish, and struggles crop up that we don't anticipate. But you have your resources. Ask for help. Again, credit hours. There is a rumor that starts every fall semester that you need to take 15 hours each semester. That's a lie. Nowhere does it say on our paperwork, nowhere did we say at orientation that you have to take 15 hours a semester. What we said was you need to take 30 credit hours each academic year. Now, what does the academic year consist of? Fall, spring, summer. Make your summers productive. Take some courses during summer. You don't have to take them here. Take them at community college. Cheaper. Transfer them in. Talk to your advisors about what courses are best to take during community college during summer too. So 12 hours fall, 12 hours spring, 6 hours transferred in over for next summer. There's your 30. A lot of you are already ahead of the game. You've already transferred in dual credit, AP credit, credit by exam. Those count. Those count. So if you feel that 15 hours is a little heavy for you and you only did 15 hours because you were trying to meet the ULN requirement, consider maybe there's a course you want to kind of lighten your load a little bit. This is going to be work. This semester is going to be work. The courses are going to be rigorous. You know, and this is where you're going to have to show that grit and that perseverance. If you fail, that's okay. Some of you may fail your first test, and you've never failed anything before. Don't let that get you down. That's part of the process. Trust me, I've been doing this for a while. It's part of the process. And we learn from failure. I saw something on Facebook where a woman, her dad, every time she'd come home, you know, he'd say, how was your day? You know, how was your test? Oh, I failed my calculus test. Oh, high five. And he'd high five her. And he would do that every time she failed at something. Because he told her, he's like, well, it's not a failure because you tried. And she started seeing not trying as failure. So she would try, regardless of what the outcome would be. She tried. And now she's a billionaire, I think. So think about that. Failure can be an opportunity. At the very end of this semester, we're going to have a holiday.